Hey, this is Ramon, channel is Alpha 4. Stay tuned for after the review for some updates to my channel, but let's get into it. So today I want to talk about Hardwired. So I've been reading the three main pillars of Cyberpunk. I've already done The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep and Neuromancer, and this is the third one. This is going to be Hardwired. Hardwired is really where you can see the subgenre of cyberpunk come to a fruition, where it's like truly its own subgenre. It is a really good book, but in truth, it's really two separate novellas put together, which is odd to say because it's actually the first book of a trilogy. So it makes me wonder if all the books are kind of subdivided, or if the narrative becomes more fluid and more focused as the story goes on. The first half of Hardwired is a better edited, as a more refined version and a better edited version of Neuromancer. And then the second half of the novel is almost a completely different thing. So it actually leaves the sci-fi and cyberpunk themes for more of a war novel or a dystopian novel for a little bit. And then at the very, very end, it returns to those major sci-fi themes. And that hard turn it takes in the middle of the book is very much unwelcomed, as the character motivations and the focus of the plot changes, and even the main antagonist changes from a character who's kind of a, for lack of a better word, kind of a pimp, but he's kind of like the same character that's in the La Femme Nikita stories, you know, where a character who kind of takes the main female under his wing and teaches her how to be an assassin and betrays her. Yeah, it's that kind of character. And then it switches to a completely different story, and the main villain now becomes the Orbitals in a character called Rune, which is just gross. And it really makes the whole story somber. It brings a level of seriousness and emotional weight that just isn't there in the first half of the novel. The first half of the novel is fun and interesting. The second half of the novel, because it dips so low, it takes you a while to get back into it, and it goes on this tangent about stock manipulation, and you just get bored. And if you stopped right there, you wouldn't know that the story becomes great. It becomes much better than the initial story, but you have to get there first. That being said, I do think of the three cyberpunk novels I've read, this novel is definitely better than Neuromancer. The characters are better developed. The action is more coherent. The plot development is more linear. You really get an idea of this universe they live in and the world they live in. And it's funny, if you take the terminology from this book and some of the other cyberpunk novels that I've read now, you can really see all those terminologies come to fruition in the current one that I'm reading, which is Altered Carbon. So like all that terminology kind of grows with these novels, and a lot of the junk terminology from Neuromancer just gets thrown out, which is good. It's a good development in the subgenre. But for all those compliments, this story is not as intriguing nor as interesting as Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I would almost call Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep kind of a neuro-noir novel with a slight futuristic edge, as compared to Hardwired, which is almost an 80s action movie, not even a 90s action movie. It's almost an 80s action movie, and it's very much plot driven, and it's very interesting, and it's very tight. So when the story switches over at the midpoint, you really feel that shift. Like it's like, this is a whole new book. I would give Hardwired by Walter John Williams a 4 out of 5. It's not perfect. It gets a little boring in the center. The stuff about the stock manipulation is not exciting to read about at all. But it's a much better book than the foundational book, than the book that everyone loves. Who's into cyberpunk. It's much better than Neuromancer. So I definitely recommend it. Go read it. Go listen to it on audiobook. If there's a comic book version, go get it. If there's a comic book version, go get it. Anyway, Hardwired by Walter John Williams is a good novel. Go read it. Stick around if you guys want to hear an announcement. Other than that, peace, like, and subscribe. Talk to you all later. All right, for all of you who stayed, I will be changing my channel name at some point soon. I'm probably going to finish the book of Revelation, my commentary on it, and then I'm going to do a summary. I'm probably going to film the summary sometime this week, actually, about how my views have changed. I'm going to do a short special on the Apostolic Fathers, and then that'll be it. I'll be wrapping up the religious stuff on this channel. I don't know if I'm going to go back to martial arts on this channel, if I'm just going to let this channel sit for a while. I don't know. So I would say I'm going to make about 12 more videos for this channel, maybe 15. And then I'm going to close this channel out. I'm going to rename this channel, and if I use it again, it'll be for something different than apologetics. So thank you all for watching from the beginning all the way to when I was getting, 2,000 views per video to now when I'm only getting 25 views per video. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm not abandoning this channel, but I am going to close it out. I'm going to give it a real ending. I'm going to try to get some of my previous guests back on. For instance, I've been speaking with Bad Tempered Badger about doing something special for the conclusion to this channel. And I hope you look forward to that video where I update my views, because I started my religious content on this channel by expressing my views at the time. And that is well before I read the Church Fathers. So now it'll be interesting to see how things have changed in the last 3 years. Peace, like, and subscribe. Talk to you all later. I love you all. And thank you so much for watching my channel.